I'm Ray Hartz, the founder and executive director of Healthy Arts Institute. We're a nonprofit organization located in Pittsburgh, California. Right now we're at the El Pueblo Housing Development, which is a low-income community that my dad lived in, I grew up in, and my mom lived around the corner. So this is a way for me to return back home and give back to the community that I grew up in. Healthy Arts Institute is a nonprofit that our mission is to empower individual and community transformation through health and wellness. We focus on 4 core elements of health and wellness. One is the environmental sustainability, mindfulness and meditation, stress management, nutrition and cooking demonstrations, and also fitness. Right now we're at this our farm, our urban farm, where we're hoping to grow a lot of food to be able to provide to the community and also get to market. We also have a community garden on this space where community residents can come out and grow their own food and receive some of the produce free of charge. Today we'll be a cover crop, and you know, not knowing much about gardening and farming, when I first started, I reached out to a lot of folks like RCD, Community Co-op Extension, UC Davis Extension, Master Gardeners, and so I reached out to a lot of folks who had experience in farming, and a lot of them advised me like, hey Ray, you need to put some cover crop in, build your soil. It'll add a lot of nutrients to your soil. It'll help the environment. And so as I learned, I just figured like this would be a good place for me to start. This is our first year in production for the farm, and so we wanted to get the best start, give ourselves the best chance of success. So we're going to start with a good cover crop. We got a mixed bag of cover crop, all organic. Some of it, there's vetch, there's fava beans, there's peas, there's some different legumes, crimson clover. So we have a mixed bag of organic cover crop. Yeah, so I'm just broadcasting at, from what I've seen, like a 90-degree angle, 45-degree angle rather, and just throwing it out handful. This seed has been inoculated. We added some inoculant into this seed. And we're going to rake over it after we get it all seeded. We'll rake over it and press it down, roll the log over it so we can try to get good contact. As I'm learning, like, things don't always go as planned in farming, and so, we bought the seeds. We bought about 500 pounds of seed, and initially I was learned that 50 pounds could cover an acre or whatever, but then I had some advisors who suggested that we can add more, so we'll probably lose some of the seeds. Some of the seeds won't germinate. So if we add more, we give ourselves a better chance to have a higher germination rates, at least to be able to get our cover crop in. Yeah, so I went with the mix because it was easier. I could purchase everything at one place and just get a few bags of it and keep going. I didn't have to like measure out the mix ratio of legumes and grasses. So this mix had the right combination and made it easier for me. Yeah, so we're gonna let it grow over the fall and winter, and I think late February, maybe early March, we'll, as they say, as I've learned, chop and drop, and we'll mix it inside the soil. We'll get a little, add some more compost in, and hopefully this spring we'll get some new crops in. It was a very dry year. So there was 2 things that happened. We didn't have our irrigation installed, so we had to use overhead sprinklers. Some of the crops came up, well, all of it came up, but some of it thrived and some didn't. What I did notice is like one patch that we've grown food in before got the same amount of water as everything else, but it did like 5 times better. And so I kind of learned the importance of having good soil and needing less water for your plants to thrive if you have good soil, good microbiology in the soil. So that was something that I learned this season. We planted cover crop here. It's thrived. It got water all year or all throughout the season. And I actually terminated it a while back, and it all like kind of grew back because we didn't plant anything else in. So I'm just going to incorporate it back into the soil, but I used a weed whacker just to terminate the ones in the beds. Yeah, I just have a mower, a weed mower, and so we're just chopping it down with the weed mower. It's kind of a mulching mower, so the cover crop kind of stays in place, and then we're just covering it up with some compost, and we're going to do a really light till. We hate to till, but we're late in the season, so we're going to have to do a light till just to get it incorporated, and then we can plant next week. So this compost is OMRI certified, and it came from a place out in Palo Alto, Wheeler Farms. Really good folks over there who are creating this wonderful gold, this compost for us. So yeah, it's all OMRI certified. It has some manure and some bedding, equine bedding in there. So it's really good compost. All the summer and spring crops, so tomatoes, melon, squash, beans, cucumbers, peppers, eggplant, you name it, okra, corn. Like, we have a wide variety of food, so we'll be able to get some food out to the people. Yeah, so I'll get started because I know I have irrigation. I'll get started earlier, and I'm looking forward to having like a full field of good cover crop. We have a cedar. I broadcasted this year, half of it I broadcasted, half I used the cedar, but I'm going to use the cedar for all of the entire field. I'm just looking forward to it like really doing well next year, getting a good cover crop out of that next year, and getting started earlier, maybe terminating late March and not late April.